Okay, folks, get ready to dive deep
No.
into some truly bizarre stuff happening way up north.
In the Arctic.
You got it, the Arctic. Now, why is the Arctic so interesting, you might ask?
Well, I'm sure our listeners know a thing or two about the Arctic already.
They're a sharp bunch.
Right. But what makes these events so fascinating is that they're happening in one of the most
Remote.
and honestly least visited places on Earth.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah, what's going on up there? So you send us some listener reports about these strange events.
We had a lot to sift through.
And we did, and trust me, this is not your average polar bear sighting. We're talking possible UFO crash in the Arctic Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Mysterious pinging sounds.
That one's really strange.
That's freaking out the wildlife and whispers of government cover-ups. It's like an X-Files episode up there.
I know, right?
Let's start with this alleged crash.
All right.
Remember those State Department emails leaked through WikiLeaks a few years back?
Vaguely.
Well, they mentioned a UFO crashing through the Arctic ice. Pretty wild, right?
Pretty out there. And multiple villages reported seeing a streak of light across the sky,
There were a lot of witnesses.
followed by a massive impact and a steaming 10-meter hole in the ice.
10 meters! That's a big hole.
I mean, can you imagine witnessing that? You're out in this vast Arctic wilderness,
Yeah.
and suddenly, giant hole in the ice.
Oh,
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
makes you think.
But here's the truly intriguing part. There's been zero official explanation.
Yeah, that's weird.
Why the silence? What are they hiding?
Well, that lack of transparency from official channels definitely fuels the speculation.
It does.
But what's interesting is that this event might be connected to another strange phenomenon in the Arctic.
You're talking about that pinging sound, right? This wasn't just like
Some little
gentle underwater noise.
bah,
Hunters near Igloolik described it as loud
like really loud.
and unnerving.
Like it was scaring the animals away.
It seemed to be scaring away marine life.
Paul Quassa,
Who's that?
he's a member of the Legislative Assembly,
Okay.
described it as a pinging, sometimes a hum or even a beep.
Like a signal?
Maybe. It's this persistent, unnatural sound emanating from the depths of the ocean.
Spooky.
So the Canadian government sent a submarine to investigate.
Oh, wow.
But the findings, much like the details of the Arctic sea crash, have never been made public.
Classic cover-up.
Perhaps.
So we have these potential crashes, unexplained sounds, and government secrecy.
Right.
Is there any chance this is like a pattern? Do governments always avoid explaining potential UFO events?
That's a great question, and it brings us to a fascinating historical parallel.
Oh.
The 1967 Shag Harbor UFO incident.
Oh, I've heard about this.
You have.
Yeah, tell me more.
Multiple witnesses saw a lit object crash into the water off the coast of Nova Scotia.
They described a loud boom, like a bomb going off.
That's right.
And then the object just vanished beneath the waves.
Gone without a trace.
So spooky.
And what happened?
Just like with these Arctic events, the Canadian government investigated the Shag Harbor incident, but they never identified the object.
Never.
So we have two cases now of crashes, or whatever you want to call them, with no explanation.
Precisely. This lack of official explanation, along with the similar circumstances, raises some really intriguing questions.
Do you think all these events could be linked somehow? Because some people speculate that that pinging sound might actually be coming from the submerged UFO mentioned in those leaked State Department emails. What do you think? Could there be a connection?
I mean, it's possible, right? That theory actually connects to an even broader phenomenon.
What's that?
The hum that people have reported hearing in various locations around the world.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Could this be a global manifestation of something we just don't understand yet?
So are we talking aliens then?
We can't rule it out.
Wow. Some people even speculate about unmanned interstellar craft, maybe sending out signals or exploring our planet in ways we can't fully comprehend.
Now, that's a thought.
It's kind of terrifying, but also really exciting, you know?
I get it. It's a lot to process.
What if these sounds are deliberate signals? Like, what could be the purpose? What are they trying to say?
Well, some researchers point to Pomsky's crater in Siberia as a potential parallel.
What's that?
It's this mysterious crater believed to have been formed by an object, maybe some kind of craft that burrowed underground.
Like underground. Like a mole.
But more advanced.
Right, of course, more advanced.
Right.
It's aliens we're talking about.
Potentially.
That's so creepy. It burrowed underground.
Uh-huh.
So could these underwater events and the Siberian crater be related somehow?
It's a question worth asking.
There's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So what's your final take on all of this? Are we dealing with sunken UFOs, interstellar signals, or something else entirely?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think that's okay. We need more investigation, more data before we can draw any definitive conclusions.
Fair enough. But these events certainly highlight the importance of scientific inquiry and critical thinking, right?
Absolutely.
We need to consider all the possibilities, evaluate the evidence carefully, and continue to explore the mysteries of our world.
That's what we're here for.
You've given us a lot to think about. Could these seemingly isolated events in the Arctic be connected? And what might that mean for our understanding of the universe?
It's a big universe.
It is. It really makes you wonder what else might be out there hidden beneath the waves or buried deep within the earth. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, folks. Until next time, keep looking up and keep an ear to the ground.
And to the seafloor.
You got it.